Hey, what's going on? I'm Jamie Blake, and in this video, I'm going over some really cool things that you can do using CV signals to control different parameters inside of Comet from Polyverse. Specifically, I'm going to be using Gatekeeper to send CV signals to control different parameters inside of Comet. All right, so real quick, CV stands for control voltage. It was a way to use something like an oscillator to control, say, the filter frequency cutoff or resonance or a sequencer, or used as an LFO back in the analog synthesis days. So what's unique about using CV, using Gatekeeper, is that you don't have to create any MIDI clips. It's just a different workflow. It's a different way to generate a signal to control parameters inside of Comet. So I'm working inside of Ableton Live 10.1. I have Comet loaded up on a melody inside of a track that I'm working on. So let's just take a quick listen to what this sounds like. And here's just the melody. All right, so it's just a standard melody, nothing too special about it. So what I'm gonna do now is talk about how to set up the routing to send CV signals from Gatekeeper into Comet. So you're gonna need two separate tracks. I have Comet loaded up onto a melody track, and then on a separate track, which I've named Gatekeeper CV, it's blank, there's nothing on it, there's just Gatekeeper. So I'm using this strictly as a control voltage source. So if I open up Gatekeeper, I have a simple envelope pattern going on here, and if I right click on one of these nodes, I can go to CV output and select unipolar or bipolar. So now that I've selected that, you can see that Gatekeeper is outputting a signal. And you don't want to listen to it. I mean, you can listen to it, you can get creative with it, but I have the track muted because I'm just using it as a control source. So if I go back over to Comet now, and you'll see in Ableton Live 10.1, there's now a side chain feature right here on the left on the plugin, and I already have this set up to be side chained from Gatekeeper CV. So you can see that the signal is getting passed through here, and if I open up the plugin window and then go to settings on the bottom right, what first pops up initially is everything that you can map MIDI CC to. So if you wanted to use MIDI, if you click learn, it says record. You twist a knob on your MIDI controller, and then you could use that knob to control that parameter. So it's a similar process for CV. You just click over on CV, and now all the different parameters that you can control, you just click on, and you'll notice it says left, right, and stereo. So you can take signal that's only coming from the left to control a parameter, only coming from the right, or a mixture, combination of what's coming from the left and right. So I'm gonna leave that on stereo for now, and I have it set to the size. So let's just real quick take a listen to what that sounds like. And you can see right here that that little blue line is bouncing, and that is indicating that the size is being controlled from that CV signal that's coming from Gatekeeper. So you could send this to the detune, see what that sounds like. Then if I go back into Gatekeeper, I can make everything more extreme by bringing these nodes up, and you'll see that the control signal is now louder. So or not louder, it's stronger. If I go back over to Comet, I could see that the detune and the size are now bouncing up more. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. And then I might actually slow this down a little bit. So I'm going to take the time up to 8. All right, now it's already sounding a lot more interesting, but I want to take this a step further. So inside of Gatekeeper, I'm going to copy this pattern that I have here, this envelope, and then paste it into one of the blank envelope slots up here that you can select up here at the top of the plugin. So I've selected everything. I'm going to hit C to copy, and then I'm going to go to one of these blank envelopes, click at the beginning, and hit V, and now I've pasted that envelope inside of here. Now I'm going to click this button on the top left, and that's going to turn it on, and then I want to hit play. So what's really powerful about having two different envelopes sending two control voltage signals is I can hard pan them. So I'm going to hard pan this one to the right all the way. And I'm going to go back to the first envelope, hard pan that one all the way to the left. So now you could see from this little gray signal bouncing over here on the right side of the screen that there are two independent control voltages, one on the left and one on the right. All right, so I'm going to set the speed of this second envelope back to match the first one. And then I'm going to add a little spike right here, so it's doing something slightly different than the first envelope. Okay, so now I have this one panned hard right. I have the first envelope panned hard left. So now if I go back into Comet, open up the settings. Now if you click, say, on pre-delay, and I can have that just take control voltage from the left channel, and then maybe I'll have the size take control voltage just from the right channel. So now you can see the size is moving up and down relative to what only the right channel is doing, and the pre-delay is moving up and down relative to only what the left channel is doing. So let's take a listen to what that sounds like. All right, so that's generating some pretty interesting sounds. I might play with the glide time now just a little bit on the bottom left here. All right, that's sounding good. All right, so now I'm going to check this in the context of the mix real fast. All right, so real quick, I'm just going to turn Comet back off and then turn it back on so you can hear what it's doing. All right, here's it on. For me, this is a lot of fun because it kind of just builds in like sound effects and character right into the sound. Obviously, I think the sound design capabilities with this are pretty awesome. You know, it's relatively limitless in terms of how you want to set this up. And what's cool about this workflow, I could just copy Comet and put it on any other track. Like, this is going to sound really weird probably, but I'll put it on the kick and just see what that sounds like. And it's going to carry over that sidechain routing. So I don't have to reroute anything. That one gatekeeper track that I have sending CV signals, if I copy the instance of Comet that it's routed to any other track, it's going to follow it. So real quick, let's listen to what it sounds like on the kick. And what's cool is it's the same control voltage signal, but because this is a separate instance of Comet, I can change the parameters, I can change how everything is set up, so I could fine tune it to fit the style or the instrument that I have it on. All right, so that's pretty cool sounding. It's got a little bit of extra rhythm out of that. All right, so now I'm just gonna jam out, maybe add some chords on top of this. All right, thank you so much for watching. Check out Comet in the description below. We'll have a link there where you can go check it out. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. If you want to check out Comet and Polyverse other plugins, check out the description below. There'll be a link where you can check it out for yourself. All right, thanks again. Till next time.